Nothing is evil in the beginning.
The Rings of Power has many mistakes, be it unintentional or not. Here are a quick 25 that the writers, directors, or editors make that I have seen, that show how rushed, poor quality, and unbelievable the world created in the Rings of Power is, in my opinion. 1. Galadriel and the other elves cannot see a gigantic castle in front of them until lightning flashes, when elven eyes are said to see for miles, and Galadriel even states this later in the series. 2. Galadriel stands and watches her companions for decades get attacked and possibly killed, and does not seem to care, doing nothing until she can attack it solo. Galadriel should have defended her companions straight away. 3. An elven soldier is seen throwing away his weapon when attacked and not just dropping it or defending themselves when they are possibly about to be killed. 4. Galadriel finds a raft swimming in the middle of the sea. Anything more need to be said about this? 5. Galadriel ties herself to something that will sink during a storm and almost dies, drowning, making her look incredibly stupid. This scene is only there to force Galadriel to now trust Halbrand as he saves her life. 6. Arindia's weapon disappears when the warg is released and all 4 elves are shown to have one at the start of the fight. 7. The elven leader appears in the scene out of nowhere in a spot where he was not seen a second before. 8. Human prisoners disappear when seen to be hiding at the back of the trench next to the tree root earlier on. 9. Multiple times the orcs are shown to burn in sunlight, but then, when they are not the centre of attention, they no longer have this issue, so a lack of consistent world building. 10. The number of orcs shown attacking the watchtower is different than the amount who enter. These orcs are not outside the watchtower either, waiting on the bridge to account for this number. 11. The orcs miss a chain on the ground they had to walk over, tied to a log inside the watchtower and a stone on the bridge, and never wondered, what's this thing? 12. It takes 1 fire arrow to destroy the watchtower, and no sabotage is shown to make this happen, so it must be part of its design. 13. There are no orcs on the bridge when they should have been following the leading group to allow Arindia to escape. 14. Teleporting humans. They somehow escape in the middle of the night from the watchtower past the orcs who have night vision at the bottom of the only known path. 15. The Númenórean ships are TARDISes. They are able to carry the crew, supplies for at least 2 weeks, and 100 soldiers and 100 horses, while looking like they cannot carry half of that. 16. The village battle shouldn't exist, and the villagers should have ran away, and they had multiple chances to do this. Once they knew about the enemy and that they could not defeat them, it was a given to run away. Funnily enough, the 2 towers does just that. Also, with the world building of the orcs, they were mostly safe every time the sun came out. To run away. 17. Once again, the number of orcs shown attacking the village this time doesn't match up compared to the ones shown caught in their trap later on. 18. Arindia attacks an orc with no knife, but the orc acts like he's been stabbed, so a case of we'll fix it in post, or we'll edit it in later on. 19. Arindia has no weapon when he should have, as he was just holding one and lets it go for the fist fight later on. In the middle of a battle, you wouldn't let go of your weapon. The orc who attacks him also conveniently has no weapon, even with all the weapons from the dead lying around. He even waits for Arindia to walk back into him for the fight to start, rather than just attacking him from behind. 20. The dwarfs wake up the Balrog after mining enough mithril only for the 3 elven rings, meaning the Balrog will now attack the dwarfs before they can mine enough for Bilbo's mithril shirt, as it's shown attacking the Fellowship once it knows they're in Moria. So it's just going to wait around for the dwarves to mine all this mithril for their use later on, as this is supposedly the first time they've ever found mithril, and the only place they can get it. 21. Galadriel has GPS, as she somehow knows exactly where the village under attack is, in an unknown land to her. In a time without any real roads, getting from A to B would be a lot harder and take a lot more time. 22. Galadriel never checks the secret bundled weapon of the enemy, even when interrogating the enemy leader, to ask him, what is it? What does it do? 23. Arindia cannot tell the difference between a sword hilt and an axe, and he has even held this bundled weapon before, so he should know what it feels like. 24. Mount Doom is created when an old man sticks a sword in a rock, causing water to flow into the mountain to make it explode. 25. Celebrimbor, the greatest smith alive, does not even know the simplest things of his own craft, and must be shown by Halbrand or Sauron what to do. A forced scene that makes no sense, and it makes him seem like a fool and incredibly naive for blindly trusting some random person who's just turned up. Honestly, there are many more, not in this video, that just shows the lack of care and attention put into this series. Anyway, see you in the next video.
Fly, you fools!